I call the honourable member for Ryan.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My question is to the Minister for Immigration and Border Protection. Will the Minister please update the House on the government's continued efforts to protect our borders from the terrorist threat? And, Minister, what recent reaction has there been to these measures, and what is the government's response?
I call the honourable Minister for Immigration and Border Protection.
Thank you.
The member for Rankin.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I thank the member for Ryan for her question, and she'll be pleased to know, as will her constituents, that in dealing with this current threat, this elevated level of threat of counter-terrorism, we are dealing with it as a government from a greater position of strength than we certainly inherited. Because when we're dealing with this issue, Madam Speaker, we are dealing with an environment where our border agencies have had $700 million of cuts reversed by this government to put greater support and resource on our borders to ensure we act from a position of strength. We're also integrating our border agencies with immigration and border protection to ensure that we act from a position of strength. And this government is also not acting from the position of weakness, where our borders were surrendered, where crisis and chaos rained down on the previous government, completely overwhelming their border agencies because of the border chaos. It has been 81 days, Madam Speaker, since the last solitary venture, people smuggling venture, to this country, Madam Speaker. And we are coming from a position of strength, which is my point, Madam Speaker. And from a position of strength, we are giving our agencies the support and resources they need to do this job at this very important time. An additional $150 million is going into our border agencies specifically to deal with counter-terrorism activities. That $150 million is giving them the tools they need to do this job. The counter-terrorism unit, Madam Speaker, has been in operation now for some time, and those 80 officers are in place and being put in place, Madam Speaker, across the network, and already they have been involved directly in 40 offloads of passengers, and that includes groups of passengers as a result of their activities since those operations began. We're also in the process of introducing outwards advanced passenger processing, so we can be ahead of the game when it comes to ensuring that we are providing the protection necessary. The expansion of the Airline Liaison Officer network, which puts more people across a network outside of Australia to ensure we have a better heads-up of those who are coming to Australia, and of course the expansion of the biometrics. Now, on these latter points, Madam Speaker, we not only need to give the resources and the tools, but we need to give the powers. We need to give those powers, and those powers mean the ability to collect and store information that enables our law enforcement and border force agencies to do their job. They need those tools, Madam Speaker. These tools are becoming, and information are becoming, common standard issue for law enforcement and border agencies around the world, and we cannot deny our border agencies the access to those things to get the job done. The response from the travelling public and Australians, Madam Speaker, has been fantastic, and we appreciate their patience. We appreciate that they understand the seriousness of this issue, unlike those opposite who interject with trivial interjections on such a serious matter, Madam Speaker. Unlike the opposition who has interjected so trivially.
The time has expired. I call